All right, so it is February 6th, about 5:30 in the morning, and just want to talk about yesterday. Yesterday, I went through cravings at work, and I gave in. Um, I knew of every way to go about it, and I chose the easiest way out. And what I learned from that was that as I was eating, that that was the easy way out, the easy way to receive comfort, the easy way to receive sanity and peace. Um, because if I would have sat with what I was feeling, if I would have processed what I was feeling, um, not only would a peace of mind come from that, you know, because I would have dealt with the problem at hand. Therefore, the comfort, I would have received comfort. I would have received sanity. I would have received peace by um, by facing those things and overcoming it by my own will. So, and that takes work, but at least that feeling of comfort, peace, and sanity is sustaining. You know, it it um it stays with it would stay with me because it's something I'm building on. But when I receive that peace, comfort, and sanity through food, it's fleeting. It only lasts for a moment. It's temporary. Yep, temporary. It's fleeting. And it's not something, yeah. So I saw, that, wow. So what's happening here is I'm taking the easy way out rather than, rather than doing the work and overcoming these things right here, right now. Because if that's what I would do, I would no longer deal with these things. Of course, granted, it's not just going to take one time, but each time I do this, with every time these situations pop up, I will eventually defeat it. I will eventually overcome it. But that will never happen if I continue taking the easy way around it all. Um, I'm really seeing that. I mean, I see clear as day now that food is a drug. I mean, I don't know how many times I gotta remind myself, but I mean, that's exactly what it is. It is a fucking drug because it's like you can never get enough. And you can eat till you get sick of it and you still want more. And yeah, it's very nuts. Like, I'm fully hydrated, I'm fully nourished from my juices, but there will still be that craving. I can be full on juices, and if I have a craving for something that I'm not dealing with, I'm just kind of running away from it and just trying to drink more juice to ignore the craving, to try and get myself full off of the juice. But I don't deal with that craving, so that craving's still there even after drinking another gallon of juice. It it's crazy because I can be full off the juice. I can even be bloated off the juice, and um, but yet I still want to eat. And I like I've said, I don't feel lack of energy. I don't feel fatigued. I don't feel lethargic. I don't feel, I feel completely great off the juice and fully nourished, fully hydrated, yet I still want to stuff my face. So, food, the chemicals you receive from the cooking process and from whatever ingredients are added to cooked food that's not homemade, that you know yourself, it is a drug. I mean, it is crafted just for your taste buds to become addicted to. Like we should have never started cooking our food. Looking into John Rose, when he was doing the cleansing with the juicing, but when he would eat cooked food, he would just do things as simple as steaming broccoli, just raw broccoli and steaming it, baking a potato. These, like, not cooking as in coming up with a whole chili roast or a pot roast, or you know um, doing all these seasonings, sauces, and spices on it. No, he would just steam. He would just bake things, and like just raw veggies, and bake them and steam them. And so that's so different than how we view cooking, where we think it's got to be a whole concoction of all kinds of things with a variety of everything. And um, he found out that baking a potato or steaming broccoli, one of the two, but whatever, just heating it, just cooking it, it created like 400 plus new chemical compounds. You know, so it's something we're never even supposed to experience, because, like I said, food is as simple as this: what grows from trees, the bushes, the vines, from the ground, and it can be eaten in its raw state, eaten just the way it is, no cooking, no concoctions, eaten raw and picked right from nature, not factory produced, not manufactured. mm, yeah, all these things. So yeah, I because I've been wanting to face these things, and but it's like the past 2 days, um well, the last 2 days I was sleeping a bunch. Then yesterday, the 2 days before yesterday, I was just sleeping a bunch. And then yesterday, I knew everything I needed to do. I mean, I knew everything I needed to do. I was I was actually facing these things at work and overcoming them by, speaking to myself, understanding that this is how I've coped my whole life. Pretty much talking to my inner child, and and understanding why I'm feeling this way, and um, why I'm craving these things, and then reasoning with them, and speaking my way through them. And I was dealing with these things at work, and I was overcoming them, but still at the end of it, I was just like, man, like there was like a part of me that was just like, no, eat, you know, eat. And it's interesting because it's like, I'm gonna read this writing. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Just go ahead and read and make sense of it all. So this morning I wrote, I feel very ill. I am a food addict. I am a major food addict. Right now I have a headache. I am very mucousy, and I feel sick to the stomach. All this plus more that I know is the consequences of being a glutton, yet I find myself still doing it. But now I can say one thing for sure. I am witnessing my body rejecting cooked food more and more. The amount I eat now compared to what I used to eat on a daily basis is major. It's a major difference. Yeah, I am witnessing my body rejecting this cooked food more and more. Like I'm becoming so much more sensitive to it. Like before, I could eat pound upon pounds upon pounds of food each day, and it felt like it didn't even affect me. It felt like the only thing it did to me was make me tired and want to go to sleep. But now when I eat it, I mean, I feel like a wreck. I feel totally out of it in my mind. I just feel completely horrible. And I'm not even eating nowhere as much as I used to. And when I ate yesterday, as I've noticed from my first cooked meal experiment to the total of, I think yesterday was like my fourth or fifth time eating cooked food in that like month and a half process right there. Each time I was eating in a closed window, in a smaller window. Like I couldn't eat all throughout the day. Like when I first ate my cooked meal, I could eat throughout the day, throughout the rest of my day after I worked. And but if you've watched my other videos, each time it has shortened. Each time I've eaten less and less. And yesterday, I started off eating salsa. I really wanted salsa, so I had salsa, pico de gallo, and I was just eating. I got a couple containers of that and was eating that. And then it led me to getting a burrito. I ate that burrito and I was already full. I was like, holy shit, like I'm already full. But I wanted noodles, so I went ahead and got my noodles. I couldn't even finish them. Couldn't even finish them, and I threw them away. Um, and I was so full when I started eating those noodles. I was so full. I felt sick. Like I felt like I find this was the first time I actually felt like I was gonna puke. And I only ate, like that's what I'm saying. I ate such a small amount compared to what I used to eat, and I was already getting to the point I felt like puking. I could feel my body rejecting it. And even eating it, the only thing that actually had flavor was what was raw, which was the pico de gallo, and all that was it was tomatoes, red onion, jalapeno. It didn't even have salt and cilantro. It was all raw, and that was the only thing that tasted had a lot of flavor and was hydrating as well. A lot of water in it. Um, but yeah, when I eat the cooked food though, when I eat the burrito and then I eat the noodles, I mean, it didn't even taste good. It was like my taste buds could see right through the facade of its image, of the gooiness from the burrito and just the 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 grilled tortilla and crispy tortilla on it, and like it was like my taste buds were able to just see right through the facade of the cooked food and just be like, no, that is fucking trash. Like this is actually what it really tastes like. So it just feels like my body and my taste buds are healing to the point where these cooked foods aren't even becoming pleasurable anymore. Now it's just a memory I'm associating with it. And so yeah, but yeah, that is one thing I can say for sure is I'm witnessing my body rejecting cooked food more and more. The amount I eat now compared to what I used to eat on a daily basis is a major difference. A quote I came by yesterday that describes where I'm at. So I came across this quote yesterday, and it says, first the quote is by Abraham Maslow, and it comes from a writing of Toward, Tor, Toward a Psychology of Being. He who belies his talent, the born painter who sells stockings. Sorry, let me restart. So this is Abraham Maslow from a writing he did called Toward, to, Toward a Psychology of Being. He who belies his talent, the born painter who sells stockings instead, the intelligent man who lives a stupid life, the man who sees the truth and keeps his mouth shut, the coward who gives up his manliness. All these people perceive in a deep way that they have done wrong to themselves and despise themselves for it. Out of this self-punishment may come only neurosis, but there may well equally come renewed courage, righteous indignation, increased self-respect, because of thereafter doing the right thing. In a word, growth and improvement can come through pain and conflict. So yeah, that quote sums up my experiences over the years of this soul searching, this truth seeking journey I've been on. And especially the journey since I've started juicing. So I continue writing. In a very deep way, I know I am wronging myself, though unlike before, I'm not getting angry at myself. I am no longer punishing myself intensely as I used to. I just observe. I discover why. I recollect myself and I get back to what I need to do. I can't even say these weak moments are setting me back or slowing my healing process because I'm gaining insight from these experiences. Even recognizing things like what would have been the best way to handle that craving, to sit and process the craving, how I'd empower my will by inserting it. All these things, like what if, like I said in the beginning of the video, I saw that I was taking the easy way out. But even though that's the easy way out, it doesn't bring ease into my life because that it's fleeting. Now, it's like that quote I said, excuses make today easy, but tomorrow hard. Discipline makes today hard, but tomorrow easy. Because see, if I had the discipline and I would have sat with and processed those things fully and totally allowed myself to express what I was feeling and then gave myself the space to express but also to face these things, and you know what I mean? So if I had the discipline to do that yesterday, today would have been much easier. Because I would have more of a peace of mind. I would have strengthened my will. I would have strengthened my knowing. All these things. But because I came up with excuses yesterday and I ate, yeah, it made yesterday easy, but today, look at me. I feel like shit. I feel like shit. The feeling of wronging myself, the feeling of, all these feelings, I'm still left with those cravings. I'm still left with the things that were undealt with yesterday, the things that were suppressed yesterday. So that's still gonna come back. That's still something I'm gonna have to face. So yeah, excuses made my day easy yesterday, but look at me now. I didn't improve. But if I had the discipline yesterday, it would have made yesterday hard. but today would be so much easier. But I'm seeing these things, it's becoming so much more clear. And I'm, you know, what I write is minuscule with how deep I really get into it with myself and all the things like, how I said, I don't see these things as setting me back or slowing my healing process because I'm gaining insight from these experiences. Like, I'm not just going and eating and then, just going the rest of the day blind. Like, as I'm eating, I'm aware. As afterwards of eating, I'm aware, and I'm just paying so much attention. And yeah, so I'm discovering, I'm experiencing what's going on. Um, so yeah, observing the transition to, so even recognizing things like observing the transition to craving, so having that craving to immediately taking that first bite and watching that craving just vanish, things like that, or watching those emotions just vanish, watching those neurosis symptoms just vanish. So being aware of things like that, um, it's all building on my experience. Yeah, so much to refer back. So it's all building on my experience. All this has been building on my experience. Like I said, I really don't feel like I'm setting myself back each time I've succumbed to eating cooked food these last 2-3 months since I started juicing. I don't feel like it's setting me back. I don't feel like it's slowing down my healing process, um, because it's all building on my experience, right? I have so much to refer back to. It's all adding onto my arsenal. All is it's all is opening my eyes wider and deepening my awareness even deeper. Every fall making me more conscious the next time I am up. Every fall making me more conscious the next time I get up. Seeing the pattern, seeing the game. So yeah, it's now, yes, is there a quicker way to go about this healing process? Is there um you know, yes, these falls, yes, these falling to desires and addictions and habits. It's like, yes, it's not as quick as if I were to sit with those things and be courageous in the moment and have the discipline to take self responsibility and totally be honest in those situations and deal with those things head on. And like, those things would definitely be would amplify the process of my healing, because that's what needs to be done. But at the same time, what I'm going through, I guess, is setting me up for that, for when, um, because it's like I'm guessing I've been needing this experience that I've been going through of the falls. I've been needing that. Um, so, but yeah, it's to the point where I really see what I have to do. Um, because yeah, see, I'm really starting to see. Well, I've been starting to see, but now it's like it's just becoming a for sure knowing. It's just making so much sense now. Like like I'm saying, it tying in with that quote of the excuses versus the discipline. Um, each time I fall into eating the cooked food, I'm running away from my responsibility. I'm running away from facing what I need to face. And it's the easy road. But it's not the easy road for long, because with that, if I continue down that path, comes neurosis, comes many illnesses, comes many disease to my body and to my mind. Um, Comes addiction, comes dependency, comes, you know, whereas if I just went ahead and dealt with these things head on, the more each the more I did that, the more I could kick this and no longer have to deal with it ever again in my life. So, I, you know, the discipline needs to be taken. Um, yeah, yeah. So much like I'm really, it's just very interesting. Um, I see, and that's the thing. Like before, I used to beat the shit out of myself. I used to be so mean and rude to myself every time I fell off. But so wild. Like I'm just so calm because I know what I know because I'm no longer the addict to where, like I said before, where when I'd eat cooked food, when I'd fall off my plan at the moment, I would fall off for 2 3 months and indulge in my addiction for 2 3 months. But now it's just for the day, you know. Now I can do it just for the day and then go right back into what I was doing. So it's like I have so much trust in myself because I know what needs to be done. I know what um it's just I'm still running away from taking full responsibility. So um yeah. So it's just wild because yeah, like I was saying, now when I've been falling off, I'm not and I don't beat myself up. I don't I don't I'm not mean to myself. I don't force myself to throw a rock on my shoulder and walk for a few miles. Like that's the crazy shit I used to do. I mean, if I fell off, I would punish myself majorly with intense workouts, like I was back in wrestling and just all these things, right? And but yeah, I don't do that anymore. Instead, I'm learning. I'm observing. I'm I'm asking questions. You know, I'm digging into this. Um, so I'm taking it a lot easier with myself, and I'm not just taking it easier with myself, but I'm becoming real with myself. You know, obviously, forcing putting putting demands on myself for having fallen off, I know is not going to do anything. This takes an a discovery, you know. This takes an investigation as to what is really going on. And so it's just it's like a puzzle, man. Just looking at all the pieces, getting flipping other pieces around and seeing what's missing. And yeah, so I mean, today I was, you know, waking up, I was just like, man, fuck. Like, I was a little more on the angry side of it, which, you know, that's what really hit me from the quote is righteous indignation. And, you know, my anger is righteous. My me being upset is just in the just in a moral way, right? Like I'm I'm pissed. The indignation, you know, the a feeling of righteous anger, and that's just what I'm feeling. Like I'm pissed at the that I'm even dealing with these things. I'm pissed that this is even a problem in society. I'm pissed that, you know, so but it's healthy, you know. I mean, I should be pissed, you know. This just isn't right. This isn't something that people should be going through. This isn't, you know. So, but like this quote said, you know, all these people perceive in a deep way that they have done wrong to themselves and despise themselves for it, you know. So I relate to that very deeply. But out of this self-punishment, the self-punishment of knowing I've done wrong, and the uh, the despising of myself, out of this self-punishment may come only neurosis, because you know you've done wrong, you despise yourself for it, and so you deal with these emotions, you deal with these mental illnesses because of that. But there may there may weak there there may well equally be, so out of this self-punishment may come only neurosis, but there may well equally come renewed courage. Yes, I have a stronger courage each time I get back in. I feel like it's just building on my intelligence, it's building on my experience. So I come back with renewed courage, righteous indignation, increased self-respect, which I'm not sure. But because of thereafter, because of all that, now you because of thereafter doing the right thing. Yeah, so um yeah. So back on day one of juicing. Um but yeah, I just see the major difference from day one, my first time ever juicing, versus day one today. Day one before, it was out of motivation. It was out of I wasn't as wise. You know, I was nowhere as wise as I am now. Now having all this experience, now having gone through all these things from then to now, this day one feels so much stronger than that day one. So hopefully now I get to some places. But yeah, pretty wild, pretty wild. Just gonna take it moment by moment from here on out. Just taking it moment for moment, but really, really have a lot to refer back to now. I really have a lot to um, take in every moment. Yeah, I have so much experience to refer back to, and so it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be very interesting. All right.